Great. Well, I'll kick us off with an acknowledgement of country. So I would like to acknowledge the traditional owners on the lands from which we're calling today. So for me, that's the Whadjuk people of the Noongar Nation in the southwest of WA. And I think it's really important in this context to recognise that a lot of health problems that we face is from our disconnection to land, and it's really important to consider that. And there's a lot to learn from the wisdoms of the First Nations people in this regard. And so I'd like to pay my respects to elders past, present, and emerging. So just a little bit about NENA. So NENA is a network of organisations and individuals working to transform society so that it is ecologically healthy and centres around human well-being. And it does that through transforming the economic system. So NENA is a cooperative, and we have a lot of hubs, such as the Health and Wellbeing Hub, that function semi-autonomously and pool their resources and knowledge and share that with the wider network. So we do always encourage people to become members of NENA, to work in solidarity. And what I will do is just share screen for a second. Show people our NENA website. So you can become a member if you scroll down. You will also get access to the NENA forum. And as you can see here, there are a few events coming up. So we've got the NENA 2021 annual conference. So we're looking for proposals for the conference at the moment up until August. And if you head to our webinars page, there's all the national events. The national event series. So at the moment, this is a meeting for the NENA Health Hub. So you've joined the Health Hub, which is why you're in here. But we also have some workshops that are in the national series. We also have the journal, if you'd like to have a look at that one. Yeah, so please do explore the website. There's lots to have a look at there. So today we have Chris Henderson, who's joining us, and the others from the NENA Health and Wellbeing Hub. So I will be handing over to Chris in a minute, and then Janelle will be facilitating and asking some questions, and we can have a bit of a discussion. So Chris, after suffering 2 significant autoimmune related conditions in his late teens and mid-20s, Chris undertook the journey of exploring a holistic support system in order to manage these conditions. So this led him to becoming a practitioner himself, working under a clinical nutritionist, and also exploring alternative community healthcare models with a herbalist in his region, setting up a co-op-based health hub where people can access a range of allied health services to complement their standard care regime. So today, Chris will be exploring the role of light in health and wellbeing, and I'll pass over to Chris to give a little bit more insight into his journey and explore the topic. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you. Thanks, Rhiannon. I'm going to share my screen. Sorry, it says host disabled participant screen sharing. Is there anything from your side?
Yes, I'll just make you host again.
Oh, cool. All right. I'll put the screen up and then I'll start talking when I get my first slides.
Sure. There you go.
Cool. Right. This one up. Okay, can you guys see that?
Yeah.
That's good. Okay. Right. Thanks, guys, and yeah, just appreciate being part of this health hub and with like-minded people, sharing ideas and bringing those to the world. There's so many amazing people in this group and NENA broadly, and I've had a lot to do with Michelle Maloney, both through AILA and other environmental collaborations. My background is nutrition, and I got into that background, as Rhiannon said, because of a couple of pretty significant autoimmune conditions, and I used that and many other I suppose, complementary therapies to support my mainstream treatment. I came across light as a therapy, or ways of using light, only a couple of years ago, when, after spending a lot of time on laptops and offices and computer screens, my eyes were deteriorating badly, and I had headaches and eye strain, and I had a prescription glasses that I had to go and renew, which I didn't want to spend $500 or something on a new set of glasses. So I came across some information by a doctor, a neurosurgeon actually, and his prescription was to watch as many sunrises as I could, and mitigate blue light or artificial blue light at night, which I did for 6 weeks, and my eyes regenerated very well, and I didn't have to have my prescription glasses anymore. So when I tell that story, people go, "How's that possible?" And well, after the talk, we might understand how that could be possible. So just a full disclosure, I work remotely under Diagnostic Health Solutions with a clinical nutritionist, mainly looking at, with autoimmune clients, looking at vitamin D levels, looking at melatonin and electro hypersensitivity issues. We do a range of testing, including vitamin D testing, which is a part of my talk, and we do free consultations. So that's just disclosure about what I do. Also started a secondary company that is investigating the potential of building better lighting and more, I guess, eco lighting, which is more also human centric. So a lot of things are designed these days without humans in mind. So I'm teaming with a couple of companies there, and we work with health practitioners, building biologists, and electrical tradesmen with that product. So on to light. We'll kick it off. So light is natural. Humans have spent millennia under light, under these balanced wavelengths and frequencies. And we really need to start to look again at how light is interpreted and how our biology is suited to light. I love what Rhiannon said about First Nations, because they were adapted and suited to this country, and they were in the light, they were in country and under light, and a lot of UV in this country. So I want to bring a understanding that light is so important to our metabolism, because your body's metabolism and the food that you're actually eating is only a small part of the importance of how light and your metabolism works. So Dr. Wunsch has quoted, the vast majority of energy your body needs to maintain its system equilibrium comes from environmental infrared light. There's a lot of information on these slides, so don't worry about it. I won't spat it all out, but just try and bring a couple of the main points to bear. So we have a light sensitive pigment called melanopsin, and that exists in our eyes and throughout our skin. And our body is using those receptors to, I guess, decipher or decode the light that we're exposed to. We need to be in certain types of light during the day, and basically try and tune that light down at night. And basically, light can be classified as a very powerful drug. It guides our brain's activity and many biological rhythms. But the main point of this slide is that a lot of people don't realize we have these really important receptors in our eyes and in our brain and on our skin for light, and it's tuned mainly to blue light. You also got melanin in your skin and your eyes. You know, we like to tan in summer, and I'm from Northern Europe, so you'll see a lot of them getting out in the sunshine as summer comes around. But it's an interesting slide here. This is a comparative cell, a plant cell and a human blood cell. They're very similar in structure. One's got chlorophyll, one's filled with iron, but they're actually designed to work with light. So we need sun exposure to, build melanin, because melanin is what absorbs light, but also acts as a sunscreen. So we have systems attuned in our body to light exposure, so we shouldn't be afraid of it. Some interesting, more science. I'll do a little bit of science, and then we can get into some other stuff. But there's a principle called the physoelectric effect. There's physoelectric properties in all biological systems. They're quartz-like crystalline structures that exist in cells and glands like the pineal gland, and they react to and create electromagnetic frequencies. Einstein won the Nobel Prize for his work on the photoelectric effects. So this is not something that's brand new. It's how light affects biological systems. And the slide there shows the penetration of different frequencies of light into the skin. So that red and near infrared at the end is very important as we go along. I'll show the therapeutic aspects of that. Dr. Robert Oecker is also someone to research, and I'll send everyone a full PDF of all this reference science. So in his studies, he found, or his research, he found that our cell membranes, the DHA and those membranes, turn sunlight into DC electricity. So our cells work actually like a battery. We require intracellular hydration and minerals. And then basically, in our modern world, we need to work out how much light we're getting to actually charge these batteries, because some of us are stuck inside for way too long and our energy goes down. But his research was all around how the cell actually uses these electromagnetic frequencies to create a negative charge in the cell, which leads to more mitochondrial energy. Dr. Fritz Albert Pop is a really interesting fellow as well. They developed a biophotonic camera that they used in some of their research they'd have animals, say dead animals that had died, and they put this biotonic camera in the room with the animal for 24, 48 hours. And what they found was the life form would emit light back out after it was dead. And they found this was actually a UV light. So almost all life forms emit light in the visible and the UV domain. So if we're emitting UV light, we need to maybe reconsider UV light's role in our life if it's so important to cellular health and we actually emit it from our cells. Dr. Jonot is one of my heroes. He created time-lapse photography for Walt Disney. You guys might have seen back in the 50s and 60s, the little videos they did of the flowers are opening, shutting and dancing. That's what he did. That was his work. And what he found was when he filtered out certain frequencies of light, the plants either would die or they wouldn't open up. So he basically realized when you take frequencies out, it affects the biological rhythms and functions of the plants. He then progressed that research into animals studies, again, using different filtered light and plants and growing plants with full spectrum light that he developed. And I'd really encourage you to look at that book, Health and Light. It's not a big book, but there's a lot of fantastic research in there by Dr. Rott that validates a lot of the things that I'm saying. He also worked in schools in the 80s where they switched out all the bad fluorescent lights and put in full spectrum lighting, and actually had some behaviorally challenged children have better effects. And it's all studies, yeah, so I can send all those to you. So this is a long time ago. This is like 35 years ago, but this is sort of, you don't go looking for this information. You probably won't find it unless you have a health challenge or you're looking way down the rabbit hole. Natural sun therapy, heliotherapy, and phototherapy was also popular in hospitals, especially for treatment of TB, and UV lamps and lighting just generally was used in hospitals to treat rickets and children and sickly babies and jaundice and things of that nature in the 1800s. When I do this talk, I often joke and say, this is not the university hospital on the Sunshine Coast. This is, in the 20s somewhere. So very interesting how that's changed over the decades. There was a doctor called Auguste Rollier. He established many clinics in high altitudes in the Alps, like in Switzerland, and people weren't too worried about getting their gear off it in particular times to get enough vitamin D and UV light. These practices eventually sort of died down or died out when synthetic vitamin D was created, and that was added to milk and the food supply and food chain and things of that nature. So I guess the commercialization of the sun vitamin. So I just wanted you guys to consider, it's amazing with all that scientific research and understanding that in our modern life, we're spending a lot of time under artificial light in artificial environments. So up to 2/3 of our lives are living under artificial light, and without a lot of understanding of the consequences of how this is controlling our metabolism and affecting, sleep cycles, etc. And I like to make the point that, in the complementary health world, we're paying a lot of attention and increased awareness to organic food and supplements, clean air and water, but we're still not getting better. Like there's something happening as well. So we've come up with a term, coined a term, are we suffering from malillumination? So we're definitely not suffering from malnutrition. There's boatloads of we've got resources at our fingertips. And so what are the implications for this? So there's a couple of things I'd like to go into. First is the vitamin D issue, and then the next is talking about circadian rhythms and circadian biology. So we'll start here. So this is Curtin University. They're in Western Australia. They collated this data about vitamin D deficiency in winter across Australia. So they come up with southern states, there's almost 50% of people deficient in winter. And in Western Australia, still a very high percentage, 28% of the population has vitamin D deficiency. Now, this is not a good thing. Up in Queensland, we're pretty good, obviously. This data and this was based on testing in very narrow ranges of data. So I should put out a caveat. None of this information is to treat, diagnose, or assess any health condition or illness. So this is just informational for you guys. But vitamin D is an important immunity steroid. It's a very powerful hormone. It's not just a vitamin. You have almost 30,000 genes that vitamin D affects, and 300 plus genes. These genes are in the human breast tissue alone. So here we're looking at some of the measurements. And I don't know if you guys have been to the doctor or tested vitamin D on a blood test and looked at levels, but optimum levels are around 100, started around 100 at the low end. And when you're dealing with greater health challenges, really need to be pushed up higher and higher. I have an autoimmune disease, and when I was managing it initially and getting blood testing, I was down near the 40 nanomoles a liter, which is way below even baseline. But you get sent home saying you're within range, it's fine. Da, 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 da. So a little note at the bottom of there: all-cause mortality linked to low vitamin D levels. That's a Swedish study. You go and find it on the net. Everything is linked to low vitamin D, which is absolutely crazy. These are diseases associated with levels below 100 nanomoles a liter, storage-wise. So everything you think of, cancer of all types, arthritis, mental illness of all types, electromagnetic hypersensitivity, diabetes, metabolic syndromes, which are light-based, Parkinson's disease, everything. This is basically a rap sheet of chronic disease in the 21st century, and getting vitamin D optimized can help those, obviously, significantly. This is a large-scale study. Sorry, guys, someone wants to be admitted, but let me see. I don't know if I can do that. Sorry, Gary, whoever that is, I'm not sure if I can do that. Sorry, everything's sort of frozen.
Chris, if you stop your screen share, admit Gary, and then reshare, I don't know if that would help.
Something's happened with my computer. It's not letting me move. I might have to actually just try and get out. Sorry, guys, I might have to shut down and come back. This is really strange. I've lost my. Hang on. Here we go. Yeah. Hang on. Let me. Yeah, sorry. This has gone a little bit out of control. Might have to go out and come back in. Sorry, Janelle. Let me do that. Hang on. Sorry, you guys can see that, can't you? Trying to shut down.
So it looks like Chris's computer's frozen or in the process of restarting. Can everyone hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
You can, okay. Somehow the hosting got defaulted over to me, maybe because I was the next person to sign into the meeting or something. Gary, welcome.
Howdy.
How you going? We've just had some technical problems, and Chris, who is in the middle of his presentation, he's trying to restart his computer, which is why he's not here at the moment. So he'll join us again soon.
Oh, gee. Yeah, I sort of forgot about the meeting because I was on another Zoom and
Right.
I sort of was chasing something up, concerned with that. And then I thought, oh, my God, I've got to be on this one. And so, yeah.
Oh, I'm glad you could join us.
Oh,
Happy to have you here.
damn
And
computer.
welcome, Hamed. We didn't say hello earlier because you joined right as Rhiannon was giving an intro and a welcome. So Rhiannon joined us earlier, Gary, from NENA Central, and she very kindly did our opening and welcome to country, and also gave us a bit of background about NENA. I don't know, Gary, if you're involved in any of the other NENA hubs. Are you connected into any of the other hubs, Gary?
I don't think I am actively, actually. I'm sort of, I'm sort of quite follow. I get a lot of Zooms,
Yeah,
but
yeah, I'm the same.
conferences and that. Yeah, and I
I
can't
do
say
have newsletters. Rhiannon was telling us a bit about NENA and the works of NENA centrally, and how NENA has other hubs. Oh, here's Chris, he's back. At the beginning of our meeting, Gary, but she's had to leave early as well.
Hey guys. Sorry about that. Yeah, my computer just totally froze. Let's get back to the screen.
I believe I have to give hosting back to you.
Yeah, that's right. Sorry.
I just click near your name, do I?
Yeah.
Okay, so there you are. Okay.
There's always something, isn't there? Get back here. Sorry, Gary's in, right?
Gary's in.
Great. Okay, cool. All right, let's go from there. Let's hope we have no problems. So this is a large-scale study on optimizing vitamin D levels, being able to slash the risk of cancer by as much as 60%, and helping levels be optimized, preventing at least 16 different types of cancer. Sorry, guys, can you see that thing in the middle of my screen?
Yeah, we can see that.
No, I don't know why that's happening. Oh my goodness. This will be a large scale edit by someone who's getting this recording. Sorry guys, let me see if we can get rid of this. Sorry.